Welcome to DJM TV.
My people, greet you now. Welcome una to DJM TV. My people, this one are for the good people of Naija, from Peter Obi, will be the presidential candidate of Labour Party for this past presidential election. My people, Peter Obi don't come outside. He don't address Naija in general. He don't address the press, papa. My people, he talk a lot for this press briefing like this. So, according to wetin he talk, he say the issue of politics for Naija, e don dey go mud, as in politics matter for Naija is in the mud. He dey call on IPAC, wey be Inter-Party Advisory Council, make dem come outside o, make dem take the issue of governance very seriously. He say because the whole be say political matter dey go for Naija, it has turned to something else. He say hunger don take over the land. Naija people are hungry. Also, he talk about the next election wey dey come up for 2027. He talk a lot, my people. IPAC, this one na time for una to come outside o. More na come outside, because the way wey be say Naija dey go so, e no dey good at all. Anyway, people, I no go talk so much. I upload on this video now. Una watch. Una listen to Peter Obi, wey be the presidential candidate of Labour Party for this past 2023 presidential election. Una hear wetin he talk. In a man of reason, he talk a lot. Una watch and don't forget to like and share. Una watch the video.
Getting in that direction, so it's a welcome development, and I believe that it's helped in the past, because if you look at those who fought for our independence and everything, they were in different political party formations and was able to show that first democratic process in Nigeria, which is what we are all clamoring that we need to go back to now, where we have very enterprising, progressive regional governments thriving very well.
Thank you, sir. So, as a critical stakeholder, what is your advice to the Inter-Party Advisory Council IPAC to ensure democracy growth in Nigeria?
Well, as it is today, my advice is that the parties come together and work for the people. You could see today there's a gradual erosion of the tenets of democracy. Our political compass is heading in the wrong direction. So there's a need for the parties to come together to be able to rescue the situation as it is today.
Okay, sir. So the final question, sir. So what advice do you have for Nigerians, especially the electorate?
Well, for Nigerians, well, which is for all of us, we need to take issue of governance very serious. We need to ensure that only those who are competent, who have the capacity, who have the integrity to be able to serve faithfully and use the resources of the nation effectively for production are allowed into office and supported. And we should resist where things are going wrong. This question, which is the issue of the parties coming together, that is impossible. You're talking about coming together for election purpose. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about coming together for good governance and making sure that the people are well governed and well served. That's two different things. When it is for election purpose, it is self benefiting or transactional. But if it is for good governance, we can all come together and work together. And if you look at what President Obasanjo is talking about, I don't think he's talking against saying that democracy is not what we should adopt. No, he's talking about the applicability. Democracy, as is being practiced in the Western world, does not have universal acceptability and applicability. You have to look at what suits you. For example, If you look at democracy in America, where we even copy this presidential system of government, there's so many things that we've abandoned. If you're president of America, you can't just, I've never heard in America that they bought vehicles for legislators. You can't just buy cars anyhow. I have never heard you can't buy cars for first lady anyhow. There's no, in fact in America there's no office called office of first lady. It exists in name. And for the purpose of accompanying the president to trips. Not just to have an office created with enormous budgets that are even beyond critical areas of development. No. You cannot entertain people. In America, if the president chooses today to entertain guests, he will pay for the food. If he chooses to have different dishes, he will pay for it. So he can decide how my wife is going to have we're going to have this type of fish from Japan. At the end of the month, you have to pay for it. So these things don't happen. You don't have renovations of different houses for the president. If the president of America goes to New York today, he stays in hotel. I have accompanied the president to trip in the past. The president of America was staying in a hotel. So these are issues. So we must look at what suits us. Again, look at how we can manage our own expense and everything. So what Obasanjo is saying that we must not adopt this and even adopt it wrongly as we are doing it today. The last one was an issue of
Moving towards one party.
move on.
How can we celebrate that?
That is a disaster. And it can be salvaged again by the same everybody coming together. Not just now political parties, but civil society. The people must resist that because it's dangerous.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, His Excellency, sir, you are the campaigner of a new Nigeria. And recently, you described the former president, Atiku Abubakar, as your leader. If, for example, in 2027, and you are given the opportunity to become his vice, will you do that? Then secondly, sir.
My dear, let's not talk about the election. We have a critical problem happening now. See, this is what I'm saying. We should all come together. Even you as a journalist should look beyond the election. People are dying of hunger. And we're talking about the election. What happens in the next election? I've said this publicly. Peter Obi is not desperate to be Nigerian president and desperate to see Nigeria work. Your children are suffering. So don't ask me that type of question, please. I'm begging you. Let's talk about how to save the country. If the country is working, I mustn't be president. Let the country work for our future.
Okay,
I want the children of here to be looked after.
Okay.
DJ